So I just realized right before I started to record this that this is the second Lego movie this year because I forgot that Lego Batman movie came out earlier in February. So it's cool that we got two Lego movies in one year, but it felt like there was a good distance between the two. But the Lego Ninjago movie, I guess the what I would say about this one is that we have three Lego movies now, and I think that out of the three, this one is definitely my least favorite. But in terms of it just being a fun movie, I thought it was fine. It's not overly creative or unique like the Lego movie was, and you can argue the Lego Batman movie really wasn't either. Except for, in my opinion, with Batman and how he was portrayed in film was different in that movie. But I think as a creative movie, the Lego movie is the only one that's pretty unique. The other two are not. But I like Lego Batman more than this. But this one on its own, I think is just fine. I think that it doesn't. It's something that I've actually never heard of, and I grew up with Legos. I didn't, unless it was just a Lego sets, but I heard it might have been a TV show, and I should have looked that up beforehand. But from what I remember, can't really think about what this was. Like, I've never heard of Ninjago before, and I thought that as a standalone film, this was good as a standalone. I didn't really have to feel like I missed anything without knowing what the Lego Ninjago, whatever that is, was before this movie came out. So I like that. I like that this was a movie that stood on its own based on a property that I don't have to watch or know anything about. And I think that, like I said, with this one, it's my least favorite, more so just because it is a fun movie, but it is definitely, for me, the weakest in just terms of how the film is just pretty generic. It doesn't take many risks, and like I said, you can argue Lego Batman movie did that too, but to me that was more entertaining, and the interpretation of Batman in that movie was different than most Batman films. So I like that that's so much more about Lego Batman than this, but I think that this one overall is just fine in terms of it's pretty predictable. It's a pretty predictable story, but I think that the acting is really good and the animation, of course, is fantastic like the other two. Honestly, this one, every time it gets better and better, and I think this one is really, really a beautiful looking movie, and it is really pretty well made, but it's just predictable. It doesn't give you many risks. Like, you kind of know what this story is, what's going to happen. You know that these characters are going to go beat by beat. You know that Lloyd and Garbodon are father and son, and they're going to eventually become partners or become friends, and not be enemies anymore. And I think that even though it is predictable, I did like Dave Franco and Justin Theroux. I thought that they really had great chemistry, honestly, as father and son. And I keep forgetting that it's Justin Theroux whenever I watch the film. It didn't sound like him to me. Like, he really put on a different voice. But Dave Franco, obviously I knew that was him. Like, I could tell, but he's really good in this role as this character Lloyd. And I thought that Justin Theroux was really funny as this bad guy villain father, and I think that it worked really well with the two actors involved. They really were entertaining, and I thought that, like I said, it goes beat for beat with stuff that you already know. You know how it's gonna end, and mostly the movie's gonna go. But I thought that it was just fine, and there were things that I did like besides the acting too. I thought that having a real life cat in the Lego scenes, in the Lego animated scenes, I thought was really cool. I thought that was really, really funny and creative, because besides the beginning and end, which are live action, the only other live action thing in this movie is the cat, but the cat is in the animated Lego portion. So I liked that he pops up and he just literally goes and destroys all this stuff like Godzilla, because he's the size of Godzilla, as like in those movies, how he's as big as the city, and he's like just attacking stuff, and it's so funny to see just a shot of like a helicopter, and the cat will like jump up in the air and just drag it down and destroy it. And I just thought that that was a really clever, funny joke with the cat. I thought that the cat really worked as just this crazy monster. And but I thought it was weird too how there's one scene where you see a Lego cat, like a tiny little Lego cat, like in a brief shot, and I thought that that was funny that they keep the real cat, but they have a Lego cat in the movie too. So I just thought that was really, it was a funny joke because you're like, hey, okay, there's both kinds of cats here, and it doesn't give an explanation why there's a live action cat, but I like that too. I like that the joke wasn't completely just overly explained. It was just like, oh, there's a giant monster, and then it's a cat, a live action cat. I really thought that was good, and I really thought that these, like I said, between the two main leads were really good, and I thought that all the other acting was good. I thought that the movie was beautiful, and I thought even though it was predictable, it was funny at times, but it didn't make me laugh as much as Lego Batman or the Lego Movie, and I think that overall it's not bad at all. I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think it's a little predictable, and it doesn't. It feels like, I hope it doesn't go this route, but it feels like all the Lego movies have decreased in quality in these three that we've seen so far. But not in a way to where it's like one's amazing and one's god awful. It's just like Lego Batman's amazing, really, really great movie, very creative, very unique, and then Lego Batman, which is a fun, unique Batman movie, but not a unique movie, but it's just a fun Batman movie. And then you get this, which is predictable, but it is still fun. It still has beautiful animation. Like, it is astounding what they can do. And it's got great voice acting, and the story's fine, even though it's just predictable. So it doesn't really give any risks, but it doesn't do it to where it pissed me off. It really was perfectly fine. So overall, like I said, it's my least favorite out of the three, but it's not a bad movie at all, literally. So thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.